Welcome. I'm Irv Lubis. Before we get started, I want to take a minute just to send our wishes and condolences to the relatives of the victims in Harvey. And I also want to wish the people in Florida who are facing another severe storm the best, and hoping for a speedy recovery for the folks in the Houston area. So let's just take a moment and reflect on that. And be thankful that we live in the Northeast and we don't have much of that kind of stuff. Well, welcome. This is the 21st consecutive time that I've offered not a transitioning seminar, but a marketing or transitioning seminar at the time of the AAP meeting. I appreciate you coming. All right, well, this is a great way for me to get into introducing Liz Lord. Liz and I have known each other for many years. She is the regional sales manager for Solution Reach. They're the pioneer in the relationship industry between patient and doctor. They've revolutionized the healthcare experience for doctors and patients, and they grow practices. And it really ties in beautifully with Care Credit because they work with Care Credit as well. Liz, come on up. Yeah. Mike? Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. First of all, I'll share a little bit about me and what has me be here. I think we've been in dentistry the same amount of time, like 1988. Yeah, you said 29 years, I always know because my oldest child was 3 months old, and so I just keep track of that, and I know how long I've been in dentistry. And I've been a clinical person, I've worked in the business office, and I've spent 15 years as a consultant, which is actually how Irv and I met each other many, many years ago. And for the last couple of years, I have been out sharing Solution Reach with offices because offices are really looking for ways to connect with and engage their patients. We're in a very different world than even 10 years ago, but certainly the 29 years that we've been in dentistry. I wonder, is it because our microphones are close together?
No, okay. Oh, maybe it's because I'm on. Okay, go ahead.
It's a different world. People are choosing providers differently. When doctors are making referrals for implants to specialists, a lot of times they're handing them a sheet. Here's all the doctors, you choose. Because for a lot of reasons, it used to be this is who I really think you should go see, and it's not that they don't still do that, but they always want to make sure that people have choices because we live in such a litigious society. There's been an impact of that people are making choices for health care now based upon the wrong criteria because they can't evaluate the quality, the care, and the service. They can only evaluate the experience that they have. And as a consultant, I used to tell doctors all the time, life's not fair. You can be the best provider, the best surgeon around, and that doesn't mean you're going to be the most successful. In fact, many doctors know somebody who probably survived dental school because they helped them out to get through. And yet, fast forward 10, 15 years, they're massively more successful. Not because they're more skilled, because they're better at engaging the human side, the experiential side. So what's happened in dentistry? You know, what has me passionate about it as a consultant to doctors, helping doctors grow practices? Over the last 10 years, do you know what's happened to doctors' salaries? They've actually pretty much flatlined. Overall, nationally, they're up about 3%. But again, it depends on, you know, if it's 2017 to 2007 or if you're you know, skewing a year to 2006 or 2008. It can change a little, but they're pretty much flat. What's happened to expenses? 31%. They're up 31%. What's happened to inflation? It's up 18%. So the net result is that doctors today are making 22.5% less than they did a decade ago.
Wow.
So it's critical to become the doctor and the practice that patients want to go to, and not just want to go to, want to stay with. Because that's another trend that we're seeing in dentistry, is that patients are moving now more than they have ever moved before. Baby boomers. This is the population between early 50s and late 60s. Typically, over history, and you and I can attest to this, that patient base, 50 plus, is your most stable patient base. And they still are, but it's different. There's a very recent study that was done earlier this year on the patient-provider experience. And in that study, what was discovered was that in the last 3 years, 30% of baby boomers have changed dentists. And another 20% report that they expect to change in the next 2 years. Now let's give you a little context. A dozen years ago, that same age group of patients, only 13% changed. It's a huge trend. People are consumers now in healthcare, where they used to really just be consumers in the retail world. It's everywhere now. And insurance companies have played a role in it, and technology has played a role in it. We shop on Amazon now, and we've seen it happen in the brick and mortar stores and things like that. But the question becomes, why are they leaving? What's interesting about why they're leaving is that 80% of them report they're not unhappy with their doctor, with their dentist. And yet they're leaving. Half of them are leaving because they don't like how they have to deal with the practice and how the practice is run. So they'll leave a doctor they're happy with to go try somebody new because the experience of the practice is not meeting their expectations and needs. So what are their expectations and needs? How many people have one of these? 92% of people have cell phones. Almost 80% of people who have a cell phone have a smartphone. How much do we hear about, how people are disconnecting from each other, and, people are walking into traffic because they're on their phone. In fact, some people are even as crazy as me. I have one for each hand. I have my personal, I have my work, right? We're doing more and more and more on these devices, and we expect our providers to meet us there. We want convenience. One thing that these have done is made life a lot busier for us. They're supposed to be convenient, and yet life seems like we have less time, more to do, more to accomplish. We're always connected. So how do we meet our patients there? Because patients expect us to. It's not just a want. One of the main reasons that patients don't like working with their practices is because it's not convenient. They want to be able to send you a message via text. They don't want to sit on hold, certainly not dead time. As Irv said, they're hanging up. And as a consultant, I used to absolutely tell people, you need that message on hold, because 1 minute of dead air time is like 5 minutes of message on hold. But your staff is very busy. There's more to do. Insurance companies have more requirements and more time being taken up. A lot of the increased expense comes in that, in running a practice. Patients don't want to sit on hold. They don't even want to call anymore. We've actually reached an age where it is considered rude to call somebody without texting them first. Our patients are part of that. Now, they're certainly more tolerant of us because they have an idea why we're calling, but if they're in a meeting, They can't take your call. And then trying to remember to call you back is just one more thing they need to remember. So the ability to send a message, hey, I need to reschedule this appointment, not to a computer code, but right to your office phone number that is now text enabled, is critical. 79% of patients say they want to be able to text their dentist. Only 15% report that they can. And when they decide to leave, where are they going to find who to go to? They're going to Google. They're looking for the social proof that, you know, not just my sister thinks you're great because I got the word of mouth referral from her, but you have this fantastic Google rating and a lot of other people think that, okay, this is the place to come to. And they put a lot of validity in that. When we shop on Amazon, which of the 17 of the same products do we buy? The one with the most positive reviews, the most quantity, and the highest star rating. Patients are doing the same thing now. They're looking online. So we want to be able to not just have unhappy people. I mean, if somebody's unhappy, what are they doing? They leave, but as they're leaving or after they walk out the door, what do? Where? Yes, and where are their friends? On Facebook, on Yelp. And they'll badmouth you to people they don't know. They'll go online and they'll blast you. I've had a doctor tell me that one of their negative reviews was from a patient who had never even been a patient, but called for an appointment as an emergency patient, and the office even offered them a time, but it wasn't convenient for them. So that person went online and blasted them. And that happens. Now, if you're not mitigating that sort of nonsense that it exists out there by having your happy patients be able to receive a text from you as they're checking out, having had a great experience, and be able to get that immediately. Dr. Bill, thank you so much for being here. We love having you in the practice. Would you mind taking a few minutes and just giving some feedback so that other people who are looking for a new place to come can really get your experience? Would you mind if we just sent you a quick little text now so you can do that? Be glad to do that. And I can go right to an iPhone, iPad, log right into a simple app, if it doesn't close on me. There we go. And pull up in my schedule for today, oh, here's Bill, and put your cell phone number in there. Would you mind just typing your cell phone number in there? Oops. Yep, we got it switched screens. Let me go back to the schedule. There you go. Phone number. I'm impatient with technology. There you go. Just type your phone number in there. And this is literally it. Normally it's in there because we've uploaded it from the schedule, but we want to verify it's accurate. Nope, it's cell phone because it's going to come to you in a text. Perfect. And then we hit send review. And you're going to see a little screen that says the review was sent. So if you're looking at your cell phone, you should get a text. And that text is going to allow, the first thing it's going to do is say, how was your experience on a scale of 0 to 10? If a patient is unhappy, we absolutely want to send this to them because we want to give them a place to vent, right? And not go online to do that. So if they rate a 6 or below, it's going to give them a screen to give that feedback, and it's going to come right into the office. And then you have a chance to turn a negative into a positive. If they give you a 7 to a 10, it's then going to ask them, would you like to leave your review on Google, Yelp, or Facebook? And Google, click it, and you choose which ones you want on there, all three, one, doesn't matter. Google takes them right to Google. They leave you a review right there. Now you're promoting yourself online. That's one of the ways we have to help get you out there and known. The average customer that we work with We're patient relationship management, so we're always looking for what are the patient expectations, what are the practice expectations, how can we help you run more efficiently, increase revenue, decrease time that it takes to get things done, decrease costs, increase patient satisfaction. Did you get that text? How easy was it? It was very easy. Very easy.
I wanted to know about my gynecological examination.
That's where we're really concerned about TMI. Thank you for that, doctor. So we're looking at all the ways. The average practice that we work with grows by $8,000 to $11,000 per month, starting in the first month that we work with a practice. And that's what has me, a dental consultant, out here talking about how do we bring technology to you, not have to be a specialist in technology or marketing or anything like that. You get to focus on running a practice, but compete out there in a world that is rapidly changing so that you have a partner to help you be successful and help you continue to be the specialist in the area you are and compete where your patients are. So thank you so much for welcoming me tonight. I have some information I'd love to share with you, so feel free to come back and have a quick talk.
Go ahead.
Do you have an idea about the price of
ZocDoc's
ZocDoc?
a scheduling software. We also have an online scheduling software, which is a fraction of the cost of ZocDoc. And much more reliable. We've had many people come to us from ZocDoc. One of the things that they're not as crazy about with ZocDoc is the patient's ability to cancel really easily. I've been a dental person. We don't want to make it easy for people to cancel. So we don't do that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.